I'm here with the legendary promoter, Hall of Fame iconic promoter, Bob ARUM. How you doing, Bob?
Good, really good.
Now, Bob, this is another big event that you're putting on, Top Rank, ESPN, Shakur Stevenson, and you attest to the pay-per-view model. Can you just give an idea about that with the piracy within the sport of boxing with the pay-per-view model?
I think it's more than just the piracy. The piracy is an element, but I think it's, look at the what's happening with television. Younger people are cutting the cord with satellites and cable, and they're getting their entertainment from streaming services. So boxing is in the middle of a period where it's segueing from over-the-air television to streaming, and eventually the streaming services will start producing really robust numbers to get us back to where we were in pay-per-view. ESPN app, ESPN Plus, has done splendid numbers in the Jake Paul Tommy Fury fight, and all of the UFC fights on pay-per-view are done on the ESPN Plus app, and their numbers are fairly good. So I think that pay-per-view will be revitalized in the months and years ahead.
Yeah, it says that the Jake Paul was reported at about 700 plus pay-per-view buys. How much of it is the popularity of the actual fighters? How much of it is the promotion?
Everybody makes up numbers, and if it was 700,000, people would go crazy. But it wasn't 700,000. The numbers are much more modest. They can't tell the truth about the numbers. I mean, for example...
And why is that?
Because people tend to be braggadocious. I mean, the Benavidez fight with Platt, that was a good fight, but that didn't do 100,000 homes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so we have this fight coming up. We have two big fights coming up in the lightweight division. We have Devin Haney, Lomachenko, Tank Davis, and Ryan Garcia in this lightweight division that are pay-per-view fights. What's your expectation for those fights?
So you say pay-per-view fights. They're both on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
But the Tank Davis fight with Ryan Garcia, which is a very good fight, what are they charging? Almost $90.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, what we have tried to do is to bring down the prices to more realistic. We're coming out at $59.95, a little under $60. Well, that's a big difference. And remember, when pay-per-view was the height of its popularity, we were at $30 or $40.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's more affordable than the price $90 for a pay-per-view. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Now, Bob, let me ask you this. How much of it is, when you see a fighter like Ryan Garcia, he hasn't accomplished a lot in the sport of boxing as far as being a world champion. When you have Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, they accomplished a lot. How is it that his popularity is as big or bigger than a fighter like like Shakur and Devin?
Well, he's done a marvelous job reaching out on social media. Marvelous job. I mean, he has like millions of social media followers, and that adds up to interest. Mm-hmm. Now, we are telling all our fighters, like Shakur, like Jared Anderson, like Keyshawn Davis, how important it is to be on social media, to build social media following, and that will only enhance their ability to draw fans. So they're learning the lesson now, how important that is.
And we saw Keyshawn Davis recently. He was going back and forth with Errol Spence, and he was saying that he wanted to fight Frank Martin, who was with Man Down Promotions, PBC. How difficult it is for you guys to work with other promotional companies, and why is it difficult?
No, it's not different. I mean, I don't know what plans PBC has for Frank Martin, but I think that if that fight became realistic instead of just, talk, I would talk to Al, and we would be able to put it together.
No,
I mean,
I'm sorry about that.
The question is, do the fighters want to do the fight? If the fighters want to do the fight, both fighters, then it's easy to make. If one fighter is ambivalent and the other fighter wants to do the fight, then it's tough, whoever they fight for.
Mm-hmm. Now, seeing as though Shakur Stevenson wins this fight tomorrow night, Devin Haney is successful, or Basil, we don't know who's going to be successful in that. Is the goal for an absolute goal 100% to make Shakur versus the winner of that fight, and how realistic is that?
Well, I've been telling everybody, that's the plan, but we have to be realistic. If Devin wins the fight, I think he's having trouble making 135, in which case he'll go up to 140. There's a lot of good fights from at 140. Mm-hmm. That will be a vacant title. If Loma wins the fight, he'll stay at 135 because he's too small to go up to 140. Mm-hmm. And Loma, I know, talking to him, would love to fight Shakur because it's a tremendous challenge for him. And Loma and Shakur are similar type fighters, that their greatest asset is their brain. Mm-hmm. So I think that fight is more realistic to happen than Devin Haney and Shakur, only because of the weight issue.
Now, also, no, this is Devin's last fight with you guys contractually. Has there been conversations to continue moving forward?
Yeah, but, again, we have very good relations with Devin, with Bill Haney, and it depends on what he wants to do next. He wants to go to 140. We would be in a position, I think, to give him the best opportunity, which I think would probably be to fight the winner of Josh Taylor and Teofimo, a fight that's going to be happening this summer.
I was just getting ready to ask you, would that be a plan for Devin if he moved up to fight the winner of that fight?
We would propose that to Bill and to Devin. Yeah, but again, that's all in the future. I mean, we've got to concentrate on the fights that have been made and, not look too far ahead.
Now, last thing, are we going to see Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk?
Yeah, of course we will. We'll see it, I think, November, December of this year, probably in the Mideast. I think Alexander will be fighting the English kid Dubois, and we're looking for an opponent for Tyson Fury for this summer in England.
What happened with it? Fighting with these guys fighting this spring.
The more you talk to negotiate about the fight, hanging over was the tremendous amount that the Saudis were offering for a fight in the winter. And, there is no way that with normal logistics, normal calculations, that you could come anywhere close to those numbers. Mm-hmm. So I don't blame the fighters for trying to put that fight off till the winter.
Now, very last thing. Just thought about this. Many people with the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight, that's a huge fight that everybody wants to see. Everybody felt like because Terrence Crawford was with you guys and Errol Spence was with you guys, that was the holdup. But now he's a free agent. What do you think is the holdup right now?
I'm not involved. It was never the holdup that Al promoted one guy and we promoted the other. That was never the holdup. The holdup was expectations. Because it's such a big fight, the fighters want to get paid a lot of money. And with the state of the pay-per-view today, a promoter would have been foolish, in my opinion, at least we felt that way, to do that fight and put up the guarantees that the fighters want. Years ago, when big fights were made, fighters took small guarantees and most of the upside. But that is not the mindset of fighters today.
What you think the expectations of a fighter that? Do you think that fighter would do 500,000, that many pay-per-view buys?
Maybe more. But they have to take the risk. I mean, don't put the risk on a promoter. You know, where he's putting up these multi-million dollars with the hope that it does 500,000 or 600,000. God willing, it'll do 500,000-600,000. Okay, take like Ali did. Take reasonable guarantees and take most of the upside.
So you think that's the
But
problem?
that's not the mentality today.
The problem is they want to have
They
the
want
guarantee.
the dollars. They want the money, and they say, "Hey, this is going to do 500,000-600,000 homes easily." Okay, but don't ask a promoter to guarantee based on what you think the pay-per-view will easily happen. If you believe that, take the risk.
I appreciate you, Bob. Thank you once
Thank
again.
you.